Hi, my name is Melissa and welcome to Let's Make Money Matter. This channel has been in the making for a while, but I really wanted to make sure that I knew what I was talking about before posting content because, as you can guess, this channel is about money and I don't play around with other people's money, with my own, and I definitely wanted to make sure that I was bringing some type of value. So I have been working for many years in the field of personal finance, and over time, I've come to really understand and believe that when it comes to building wealth and a stable and prosperous life, money in its physical form, that comes secondary to everything else that you have to do in order to achieve those goals. And before you click off thinking, I don't know what I'm talking about, hear me out. Let's think about it this way. There are plenty of stories and examples of people who start off with very little and over time are able to acquire wealth. I'm not talking about people who get some type of windfall, but those who through their own efforts were able to build and really create a life of success and prosperity. But there's also plenty of stories of millionaires and billionaires who lost it all. Athletes, entertainers, even lottery winners who go from lots of riches to nothing. And the question is, how does this happen? How do the rags to riches stories happen, and also the riches to rags stories as well? As I progress in my career, these are the types of thoughts and questions that I really want answers to. What truly creates and sustains a successful, wealthy, and prosperous individual? My theory is that it is a combination of things, and these are the types of topics that I will be discussing on this channel. Not only do we have to have good money management skills, but it is also important that we have good money making skills and the right beliefs and understandings about money and ourselves as money makers and money handlers. Because one, we can't manage money that we don't have, and two, everything we do in life is based on our thoughts. More specifically, when it comes to our finances, our actions around that is based on what first happens up here. And so it's important that when we're trying to build wealth and a life of success and prosperity, that our thinking is on par with that of a financially stable and a prosperous mindset. And so we grew up hearing the quotes about believing, right? I never really understood what that meant until I became an adult. And so we hear about believing in ourselves, or just believe, or if you don't believe it, you can't achieve it. And those quotes and those beliefs definitely apply to our finances as well. When it comes to our finances, we have to believe that we can be financially stable, we can be financially prosperous, and that it's no one but ourselves that is in control of our finances. My passion is really in financial empowerment and really empowering people with the right tools and knowledge to empower themselves on what it is that they have to do with their finances. Money isn't everything, but it is a very important tool and piece of our lives. I want people to understand that we are ultimately the ones in control of the wealth that we bring and the happiness and prosperity that we bring to ourselves. It is not our parents, it is not our bosses, it is not the man, it is not Uncle Sam, it is not your spouse. At the end of the day, when you truly see yourself as an empowered person, you know that you are in control of your finances. Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm nowhere where I would like to be when it comes to my finances and goals. However, I'm still young, and what I know is that it is a journey. And successful people, most of them will tell you that it is not an overnight process. I am conducting this life experiment on myself. I really want to see if the advice that I share on this channel, which by the way is not stuff that I've made up, this is all advice that I've gathered from professionals and through my career and through people who have done it before me, and also through life experience. All of that is what I will be sharing and utilizing in my own life to really create something of myself. I have huge goals and visions, and I really want to see if I can see them through in this lifetime, and I'm going to be documenting it, and hopefully what I share is going to be inspirational. That is going to be on a separate channel called Memoirs of a Mel, and you can check it out. Before I go, I want to get started on the first lesson, which I am taking from this book here. It's called The Dynamic Laws of Prosperity, and it's by Catherine Ponder. This book is my financial Bible. It truly changed my life, and if you know me, then you probably have gotten a copy from me. I have given it to my friends, my family, even strangers. That's how much I believe in the information and the value in it. It's gold, it's money, pun intended. So we're gonna get started with chapter 1, and I'm not going to read the whole thing, but just a few excerpts. And this is appropriate because it really goes back to what I was talking about when it comes to belief. This chapter is called The Shocking Truth About Prosperity. The shocking truth about prosperity is that it is shockingly right instead of shockingly wrong for you to be prosperous. I say you ought to be rich. You have no right to be poor. To live and not be rich is a misfortune, and it is doubly a misfortune because you could have been rich just as well as being poor. We ought to get rich if we can by honorable methods, and these are the only methods that sweep us quickly towards the goal of riches. Please note that the word rich means having an abundance of good or living a fuller, more satisfying life. Indeed, you are prosperous to the degree that you are experiencing health, peace, and happiness and plenty in your world. There are honorable methods that can carry you quickly towards that goal. It is easier to accomplish than you may think. That too is the shocking truth about prosperity. So skipping through, the author starts talking about how she's giving conferences about this type of stuff, and the people who come are like questioning whether or not prosperity is something that they should be wanting for themselves. The question obviously was still in their minds whether poverty was a spiritual virtue or a common vice. That conflict in their thinking was setting up a conflicting result in their affairs, which neutralized their efforts to succeed no matter how hard they were working. And so again, I say it is shockingly right instead of shockingly wrong for you to be prosperous. Obviously, you cannot be happy if you are poor, and you need not be poor. Poverty is a form of hell caused by man's blindness to God's unlimited good for him. Poverty is a dirty, uncomfortable, degrading experience. Poverty is actually a form of disease, and in its acute phases, it seems to be a form of insanity. Poverty fills prisons with thieves and murderers. It drives men and women to drink, prostitution, dope addictions, suicide. It drives potentially fine, talented, intelligent children to delinquency and crime. It makes people do things they otherwise would never dream of doing. A doctor I know has said that he would have few patients if it were not for financial problems, which cause them to worry, strain, and tension, all of which lead to ill health. He states that our mental hospitals are filled with people who have found that financial strain over a long period of time impaired their minds and bodies to the point of incapacity. It has even been estimated that 9/10 of mankind's ills are caused by the strain, misery, and unhappiness of poverty. Let us be done with the thinking of poverty as a virtue. It is a common vice. If you have been living in financial lack and limitation, you have literally been living in vice. That too is the shocking truth about prosperity. But you need not continue living in vice. There is a way out. So I'm going to stop there, and I really hope that what I just read kind of struck a chord with you, that it resonated, and you somehow understood a little bit more about what I mean when I talk about prosperity and what we believe about it. At the end of the day, like I mentioned earlier, you can't achieve what you don't believe. If you don't believe that you can have financial stability and wealth and a life of prosperity, it will be very difficult to achieve it. So I definitely want to incorporate the internal things we have to do when it comes to our money, as well as the technical budgeting and saving and investing things we have to do as well on this channel. So I hope that you stick around and that you find value in the content that I share. Hopefully it brings you value and can help you throughout your own journey towards building success and prosperity for yourself. So I will see you next time. Bye.